Hey, what's up? It's the ManFUzed Podcast. I am Kay Lee, audio producer, voice artist, sitting here with my real estate broker co-host, Ben H.
What's up?
Today on the ManFUzed Podcast, we're going to talk about work-life balance, why it's so hard to maintain, and what we think our spouses could and should do to help support us. And we're also going to get real with a listener who's experiencing some heartbreak, and he wants our advice on how we think he should move on. Join the show. You can text or leave us a message at 770-744-5227. If you have any drama going on in your life, you can also hit us up at ManFUzed.com. Let's get into work-life, home-life balance,
Yes.
Ben. My wife, as lovely as she is, God rest her soul, she's still alive, don't get me wrong, okay? But God rest her soul, you know?
Bless her soul.
Oh, yeah, God bless her soul. Do you say
Bless.
God rest? Your
After
soul?
they've passed.
Oh, yes, not God
Bless
rest.
is
God
when you're still
bless
alive.
her.
Yes.
God blessed her soul because
God
she's still
bless her.
here with us today.
That's right.
She does have a mouthful of gauze. I did take her to get her wisdom teeth out just the
did.
other day. But here's the thing. My wife, and I don't think she realizes it, I try to enlighten her on a daily basis because she's constantly like, you're doing too much. You're doing too much. Don't add another thing
Right.
onto your plate.
Right.
Babe, you married a hustler,
A grinder.
a grinder.
Right.
I'm into front grinding,
That's right.
all right?
Yes.
I don't know one speed. I don't know one thing.
Right.
I'm constantly wheeling. I'm constantly dealing. I'm no different today than the person that you met
That's right.
at an MMA fight night
Right.
and you ended up marrying and having kids with.
And by the way, you were at MMA fight night too.
That's how we met. It takes two to tango.
Takes two to tango.
That's
You
right.
showed up and so did I.
Right. And I approached you.
Yes.
Now, my approach,
What was your approach?
oh, dude, it was epic.
Yeah.
This goes down in the history books as first impressions.
Nice.
Okay? She came up from out of state to meet a longtime family friend who had come down from New York, who was the main fight in this MMA fight night taking place at a place called Wild Bill's in Gwinnett, which
I
was
remember.
a country bar. I used to assist Southside Steve. I was just into radio at the time. So Southside was the ring announcer. So he would go in and introduce the fighters. He was a very in-demand talent and
Yeah.
still is. I would assist him in Hooters swimsuit competitions.
Yes, you did.
Exotic dancer awards.
Yes.
I was his driver. I wasn't getting paid from the radio station.
Right.
I was kind of working under his wing.
Yep.
So when I drove him to these fight nights, I would always, while he was announcing, I would basically hang out and drink, mingle. I was in the VIP section.
Yeah.
My wife meets up with the fighter
Oh.
at the venue.
Yes.
And the fighter brings over my now wife, Erin,
Yeah.
and asks the
Yeah.
bouncer that's standing in the VIP area
Right.
if she could sit in VIP.
Nice.
So she walks up and she's standing there watching the fights, and he is not even on yet.
Right. So was she dating the fighter?
No.
Oh.
No, they knew each other from like California.
Gotcha.
Was good friends with her brother. And so that's why she drove from Alabama.
Yeah.
He came down from New York.
Yeah.
So she could watch him fight.
Yeah.
I see her. She sees me.
Ooh.
I see her.
Yeah.
It was one of those things where I looked at her.
Yeah.
And I looked away because I saw her see
Right.
her. And then I looked back and she was still staring like Michael Myers.
Yeah.
Or Jason Voorhees.
Yes.
Friday the 13th.
So she had locked onto you.
And I locked onto her.
And how long did that last?
I don't know. What was unique about this evening is when I showed up to the venue, one of the employees there
Right.
had decided to bring his anaconda to work with him that night.
Wow. That's kind of scary.
The GM of the venue
Yeah.
got word of this and got pissed off.
Right.
Dude handed off his snake to me.
Right.
So I was walking around the venue the entire night with a baby anaconda or
Right.
boa constrictor. It was like a Burmese python. It was a fucking snake.
Yes.
wrapped around my arm.
Yes.
So as I'm like going through the crowd, I've got this snake just like
That's
wrapped
sick.
around my arm. I mean, what better way to garner attention?
That's amazing. Talk about peacocking.
Yeah, dude, I was the peacock of peacocks.
What color was this snake?
It's like brown and white
Brown,
and patterns. I mean,
it's an anaconda.
Or I think it was a python. I don't think it was an anaconda. But nonetheless, it was a damn snake.
It was a big-ass snake.
And, dude, when you're going through a crowd and you've got a snake on your arm, people, they look down, they look up, they look down again, and they're like, people are scattering.
Bro.
Did you ever see Jim Carrey in the movie Bruce Almighty?
Yes.
Where he's God. He is turned into God for once he's God, he basically is sitting in traffic, and he takes his hands and he spreads them apart, and all the cars just go...
Yeah.
To make way for God.
Yes.
That was exactly how it was. I was parting the Red Sea.
Yeah.
I parted the ways. And so actually I walked up to her because she kind of resembled somebody I knew. See, my wife has this very little sexy gap in between her front teeth.
Oh.
It's just ever so slight. Oh. It's not the size of like she needs a chiclet to like fill the space.
Right.
But she could shoot water through it.
Oh. It probably has served a purpose at some point in time.
I walked up and I said, hey, is by chance your name so-and-so? Which I was dead wrong. And she said, no, my name's Aaron.
Oh.
And that's where it all began.
That's where it started.
That's where it started.
That's amazing.
The dude
what
with
was
the
your
snake.
next question?
I don't even remember.
What would it be now? Yeah.
Let me tie this all in. Do you want to hang out with a hustler?
Yeah.
Not a one
You
business
see this
man?
motherfucker walking around with a snake on his arm?
Right. Do I look like a one business man?
Right.
Do I look like a guy that's going to come home, that's going to leave in the morning at 6 a.m. to sit in traffic, to come back at 7 p.m.
Get bossed around.
No, I don't.
Keep your head down.
I've never been.
Keep your mouth shut. Keep your head down.
Oh, yeah. No. Are you talking about me?
Yeah.
No. I ain't that guy.
Don't drive a Chevelle. Big block.
Yeah.
You can't turn a squirrel into a mouse. Think about the difference between a squirrel and a mouse. Squirrel's a bad motherfucker, bro.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, if you think about it. But physiologically, not that much different from the shape of a mouse or, let's say, a rat.
It's just got a big-ass fluffy tail.
Big fluffy tail, a little bit bigger in stature, but the difference in ability is stunning.
Can you break down more of this comparison, Ben?
I see squirrels running up and down trees. I see squirrels jumping from tree to tree, 60 feet up in the air, from treetop to treetop, while running full speed, multiple trees, chasing each other.
With agility. And
With incredible agility and speed. And you know what? The little squirrel, you know what he's looking for? He wants the nuts.
That's right. He
He
wants
those nuts.
That's right.
The point I'm making is, in the land of squirrels and rats and mice, you're a squirrel.
That's right. Thank you. Yeah, I am.
Yeah.
I feel better about myself now, Ben. Thank you. Current day, I'm an audio producer for a syndicated morning radio show.
Right.
We are the hosts of this podcast, the ManFUzed Podcast, which, so if anybody has never done a podcast, which I didn't really understand the depth of this beast.
This endeavor.
Right. But it's like another job.
Yeah.
It has turned into another job. It's one that I am passionate about. It's one that I am excited about. And it's one where one day it will produce fruit.
Yes.
Or nuts.
Yes.
If we're going with the squirrel comparison. But that's not the only thing that I deal with. I'm constantly wheeling and dealing. Mm-hmm. I'm constantly getting equipment. I'm constantly pushing it. I'm selling it. I'm constantly getting just flack and just, you're not taking on another project. I'm like, this is who I am.
What would you have me do otherwise? Because I think we all deal with this to an extent. I mean, I know I do. And maybe other people out there do as well. I have a business coach, and he talks a lot about alignment.
Is that like work-life, home-life balance?
No, it's just alignment. It's alignment with whoever you see yourself as being.
Okay.
So in other words, if you see yourself as being this badass business person, let's say, right? Or you see yourself as being incredibly fit. That's a good one, right? Incredibly physically fit. That's how you envision yourself in your mind. But your actions, your behaviors, your habits are not in alignment with that vision, because if they were in alignment, you would have a different diet, you would have a different physical fitness routine, you would be in alignment with how you see yourself in your head, and it would be reflected in the physical world. In other words, you can have or do anything you want. All you have to do is decide what it is and align with that.
Makes sense.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Simple, not easy, because in that process of alignment, so I have goals and I have things that I am going after in this life that I am seeking to align with.
And I would think that that is a process that you're always trying to get into check.
Absolutely. And you're doing it too. And that's what we're talking about, is we're talking about alignment here. One of the big challenges for me is, hey, let's align together on this thing that I see. Let's align together on this thing that you see. Alignment with your spouse is all about having a shared vision and an individual vision. We have a shared vision for our life together, but we also have an individual vision of ourselves.
Right.
Because regardless of who you're married to,
I'm
or
not you.
I can't be you, you can't be me. You want to live a good life, I want to live a good life too. We kind of align on the shared things, but we also have to understand the other person's individual thing that they are seeking to align with, and also get on board with that, even if it means sacrifice.
Right. Compromise.
You know, I'm in a position where I don't have hours. I don't have a boss. I don't have any limitations on how much money I can make or how little I can make. It's all
You.
on me. And I set it up that way because ultimately I like it that way. I like betting on myself. I like the feeling of going out and earning something, of winning. You know, defeat is tough, but you learn in defeat and you keep going. Sometimes it feels like that we're not in alignment on that.
Right. And I get that. And that's why I'm like, listen, I'm there for my kids.
Yeah.
But guess what? I'm going to miss some evening dinners.
Yes.
I'm not going to be home, or I'm going to have to be down in the basement.
Right.
Working.
Right.
Right? Do I attend my son's baseball? Almost every single one.
Yes.
Do I attend my daughter's soccer? Almost every single one.
Yes.
Do I pick up the slack when you need to work? Abso-fucking-lutely.
Yes.
Because my wife makes up her own schedule.
Right.
Based on her clients' needs.
Yes.
And mixed with my main schedule because I am gone in the morning.
That's right.
I am part of a syndicated morning show. But you know what? I'm gone at 4 a.m. No one's waking up for school during the school year till 7.
Yes.
I've already been at work for 3 hours. Home by 11. Sometimes I got to come home and sometimes I got to record and sometimes I got to do other things if you're not working. Or even if you are working, I just have to squeeze it in how I squeeze it in.
That's right.
I do have to be at a certain place till roughly a certain time. But dude, it is not 7 a.m. till 6 p.m. I'm
Right.
not gone. If you think about the average, the standard of like what most families have to put up with.
Right.
Dad or mom are gone. Kids
Yeah,
are in
dude.
daycare.
Oh,
Kids are in
dude.
school. Sometimes the kids have to stay in after hours programs.
Yeah. Until like 6 or 7 at night.
Because the parents can't even
Every
get
day.
them to pick them up
That's right.
until that time, because that's what time they both get off work.
That's right.
Just so they can pay the bills. And then, what? You get your kids home, you feed them dinner, you give them a bath, you hang out with them for 20 minutes, and they're in bed.
That's right.
How much time are you really spending with your kids during the week?
That's right.
Not that much. I guarantee in 1 week I get to spend more time with my kids than most families do in a month.
For sure.
But because that has become the norm in my household,
Yeah.
anything outside of the norm where I'm like, I got to do this or I've got to do that, it's looked as you're not allocating enough time for the family. Now, one thing I do fail in, and one thing I suck in, and one thing I will openly admit, I have trouble allocating alone time with my wife, like as far as date nights.
Yeah.
We get going and we have 3 kids and it's exhausting. And by the end of the week, sometimes where we should take a date night and I should have scheduled a sitter so we can go out and enjoy our own company, we're just beat. We just
Why
want to
not?
chill.
Well, I think that's part of a shared vision thing. You know what I mean? And I think what you alluded to is probably the key to it with regard to date night. And, we need to do this too. But I think it'd be nice to have date night. Why not on a Wednesday?
Right.
In the middle of the week, before you're exhausted from the rest of the week, Break it up. It's hump day. Make it fun, right? But it's a shared vision kind of thing where you guys can say, hey, look, we need to make sure that we're going on a date night once a week. My thing is this. I feel like the greatest advocate and cheerleader for anything that my wife wants to do. She is definitely my biggest advocate as well in life.
Okay. Yeah, good.
And yet, sometimes when it pertains to business, it's almost as if she thinks that I think that business is more important than family. But that's not actually true. It's just that it requires my time. It's just that I must succeed. I won't accept failure. I'll go from 8 hours a day to 16 hours a day. If that's what's required to win, that's what I will do. But that doesn't mean that that's necessarily what I want to do. I'm not choosing that because it's more important than spending time with my son, spending time with my wife, spending time with my family, having dinner together, things of that nature, right?
I'm the outside looking into your life as you are to mine, even though we are close. We're close friends. Our wives are close friends. And when I look from the outside perspective of your life, and I don't know what time you get home every day. You don't know exactly what I've done at every level throughout my day. I don't communicate that to you. You're not my wife, Ben.
Yes.
So you don't know every coming and going, but I see the vacation. I know when you're going on vacation.
Yeah.
And it seems to me you spend a ton of time with your family.
I certainly do. It's the most important thing to me. I love spending time with my family, and I would prefer a lifestyle which was supported by passive income.
Which we will get there one day.
And that is the direction in which I am going, but it is not there yet.
And in order to achieve that,
nonetheless, I have to produce active income.
As most people do.
And there is no necessary time requirement on that, unfortunately. There becomes times when it takes less, and there becomes times when it takes more. And in either case, I have to adjust and still perform the same. Even if I have to do 3 times the amount of work to get the same result, I still have to get the result.
Right. And let's take current day.
Yes.
Interest rates through the
fucking roof.
Which makes it a much more trying market.
It does.
It does not make the market easier to sell high-end homes, median-sized homes, low-income homes.
That's right.
Because it costs more money to borrow.
Yep.
And I think we still are in a place where prices haven't really gone down.
Not incredibly, no.
From what everyone thought was an inflated housing market in terms of price. Now it's just costs more to even borrow.
It's a result of monetary policy. The monetary policy being inflicted upon the world right now, certainly
inflation,
the United States, right, is the rising of interest rates in order to remove liquidity from the market. Now, when we say remove liquidity from the market, well, if we take interest rates to 7%, less people will buy homes.
Right.
That's a fact. Year over year, we're down 30% from this week last year in mortgages.
Okay.
So mortgages are down 30%.
In a year.
Yeah, from this time last year. So that's a pretty big contrast. The point is that when you're removing liquidity from the market, you're removing sales. So now we're in an environment of what we call event-based. There's a divorce. There's a job change. There's a school change. There's an event that is occurring that is causing the sale. It's not as much, oh, well, I can sell this house, take $500K equity off the table, go buy another house at a 3% interest rate, and in a year from now, it'll be up $500K, which maybe that will occur. Who knows? But the point is that the monetary policy is such right now, which for someone in my field requires you to do one of a few things. Number one, work harder.
Run.
Number two, work the same and make less money. That's what it comes down to. So in the process of accepting that as reality, because those of us who survive through these types of things know what has to occur, right? I've been around for a while. I know what to do.
It's time to hustle.
You got to grind. I need an aligned vision on that. I need an alignment of support in that area so that I don't feel like there's friction as a result of what I'm trying to do for us.
That's a big one in my household too.
It's a team effort.
Yeah, I mean, and there are times where I get this tone. I'm going to call it the tone. Not yelling at me. It's the way that it's worded and said that is, I don't know if it's intended to make me feel bad, but it lets me know that you're not happy.
Right.
About the fact that I'm having to put in this extra amount of work.
Right.
Or that I still have stuff to do.
Yes.
And I need that support also.
My question is this. What do you want me to do? Do you want to just put it down and then do what? Go hang out?
Have dinner?
Hey, just hang?
Watch TV.
I can't. I mean, don't you know that if I do that, as I'm doing it, I'm getting more and more upset as the moments go by because it is dragging on me.
Right. Because you know you need to be doing something else.
Because I know that there's something to be done, and I am just absolutely ignoring it as if it doesn't exist.
Maybe I'm present, but I'm not.
I'm not even present. And you shouldn't want that either.
While I'm there with my family,
yeah.
You want me focused, you want me engaged.
Right.
You want me there.
And I think it's a big challenge. Now, that being said, I'm sure my wife will listen to this podcast.
Mine too.
And she'll say, I'm ready to be on your team.
Actually, my wife probably won't listen to this podcast.
My wife probably won't either.
Yeah, so
I wish she would, and I wish she would say, you know what, I get it, and you know what? I want to be your biggest advocate. Let's go get this. Let's do it together.
Go get him, honey.
Let's go get him. To your point, that's really all we need to hear, isn't it?
Yeah.
Good. Sorry, honey, I'm not going to make it home until probably 7:30 tonight. Good. I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you for everything you do.
Boom.
Keep it going.
You know what that would do to us?
Do you want me to keep some dinner warm for you, or are you going to go grab something out?
God, wouldn't that be great?
I'll tell you, why don't instead of coming home for dinner, why don't you hit the bar and have a drink before you get home so you're nice and relaxed when you get here?
Yeah. Yeah. That would be like a virtual mouth hug.
Wouldn't that be incredible? How simple is that?
Very. But you know what? That might be a little too much to ask.
That's what I'm saying. It just doesn't make any sense to me. And it's very frustrating because, like, deep down, I know that's what she really wants. I know she wants me to win. She's seen what it looks like when I win. And she's winning too. I mean, it's not all me. That's our life. And lose, I lose a lot too. I probably lose more than I win.
Right. You got to lose to win.
And that's cool. 350 batting average, some shit like that. I'm in the pros.
I might be going to the Hall of Fame.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Last time I checked, I can do this for another 30, 40 years.
Absolutely. You could fucking wheel me around.
The point of what we're saying is,
you can't be all business, no family. So if there's an extreme that somebody's listening and they're not participating at home, there is an unbalance there. And I would seek to check out what you need to do to be present and balanced. But we're only speaking from our personal situations.
Yes.
And I feel that in some areas I could be more balanced, like I said, with my wife. But this is who I am.
Yeah.
This is who she married.
The life we chose.
Right. I might be a one-woman man, but I'm not a one-business man.
I'm not a one-car man.
Right. Absolutely. I'm not a one-toy man. Ben, we have an email from a listener.
Oh.
His name is Seth, coming to us from the great state of Arkansas.
What's up, Seth in Arkansas?
Seth has been better.
Oh.
Seth is sad.
Oh.
Seth has just broken up with his girlfriend, 3 years.
All right.
They have been trying to work on it. They have broken up. Seth is feeling the feeling of heartbreak.
Yes.
His question to the ManFUzed Podcast. He says, hey guys, love the show. You make me laugh every time I listen.
That's awesome.
But how should he deal with getting over heartbreak? And I thought about this as I was reading the email, and I was like, man, we've all been there.
That's it, dude. That's the main thing.
I mean, do you remember when you've had heartbreak, Ben?
Yeah.
I can put myself there too. Fortunately for Seth, there are no kids.
Yeah.
Which makes getting over your heartbreak, I would say 100 times easier.
Absolutely.
Number 1, start working out.
Yeah.
Number 2,
hit it. Hit the gym, bro.
Hit some strange. Go out there and pound some strange.
If that's what you need. And I would say that too. But honestly, what I see with weak men is they go do that and then they end up, boom, right in another relationship.
You're right.
You know what I'm saying?
There are those people because they want to fill the void.
Yeah, and I don't know Seth's situation. Did he say why they broke up?
Just the clashing of two personalities, just over and over and over. Just there's a lot of variables that can mess something up. But
here's what's going to happen, right? Here's how girls get back. They go bang a couple dudes in your face. You know what I'm saying?
And that'll hurt, Seth.
And that hurts. But you know how you get back, Seth? You don't worry about it. You realize you just be grateful for the time you had with that person and let her live her life and focus on becoming the highest version of yourself that you can be. And when she sees you a year from now and you're ripped up and you're making money and you're crushing your goals, you're doing whatever it is that you want to do. It might not be money, whatever it is. And she sees that you have actually become who you said you wanted to become.
There's nothing sexier.
There's nothing ever that is better than that, dude. And at the end of the day, you should thank her for releasing you back into the wild.
Into your natural habitat.
Because let me tell you something, bro. You don't need it. The only thing you need is what you see in the mirror. That's it. You don't need all that.
And there is one thing, because whether you're married or not married, when you get into a relationship and you get past the honeymoon period, you love everything about this motherfucker.
Yeah.
He's so funny.
Right.
Everything he says.
Right.
And then after the honeymoon period passes, that's when the things that were appealing to you become the most annoying.
Yeah.
To you.
Right.
Do you see the way he eats?
Yeah.
Why does he always have to say
Why do you talk so loud?
Yeah. Why do you always have to say stuff like that? And then all of a sudden you're getting nagged on.
Yeah.
And they're trying to just cram all the shit they thought was attractive right out of you.
Yeah.
Just mash your personality and conform you into a little neutered puppy dog.
Right.
That they can drag around.
Yeah.
Isn't that basically it? In a nutshell?
I mean,
that's what we do to people. And guys do it to girls.
I was a dating man at one point in time.
Coxman.
And I wasn't necessarily happy with what I was doing. I mean, I had dated a couple girls and I had a few long-term relationships that, ended, and it was very sad and all those kinds of things. But ultimately what I realized, I heard Andy Stanley say,
Andy Stanley is one of the best communicators I've ever heard. He runs a church in Georgia, a few of them.
North Point,
Buckhead Church, and Brownsbridge.
He's revered.
Across the globe.
He's the new Billy Graham.
Dude, he is, but he's not trying to solicit for all your money.
No.
I don't even go to church, but I watch his online sermons.
Yeah, absolutely. It adds incredible value.
Absolutely. So check out northpoint.org. Andy Stanley.
So anyway, as a single man, I was going to the Buckhead Church when the Buckhead Church had first started. And Andy Stanley said, for all you single people out there that are looking for a mate, he said, ask yourself this question and think about it very deeply. Are you the person that the person you are looking for is looking for? And that struck me like a lightning bolt when he said that. It was the timing of it. It was just the place in my life where I was.
Yeah, I love when that happens.
And he said, are you the person that the person you're looking for is looking for? And the truth is, I knew the type of person that I was looking for, right? I wanted a beautiful woman with a nice booty and a great personality.
Great intelligence.
Very smart. Supportive, all those kinds of things. Like I had this picture and all these girls that I was, dating or whatever, they just weren't it.
Right. They might have had one aspect, but they were lacking in others.
And another thing he said, here's why I say that. He said, because you're better off becoming the person that the person you're looking for is looking for by yourself than you are spending time with people that you're not looking for. Because here's what happens. If you do that, you become like them. And if you become like them, that's not becoming the person who you're looking for is looking for. That's becoming who the people you're not looking for are looking for, because they're looking for other people like them.
Wow, that is a mental... Try to put that together. Your brother's uncle is your sister's friend.
Dude. So the point is, Seth, become the person who the person you're looking for is looking for, whatever that means. It means something different for everyone.
And regardless, I don't know if your goal is to get her back. When you break up with someone and it's devastating.
Right.
Lay in bed, you wake up in the morning and there's nothing you want more than to have that person right beside you. Now, maybe it's 80% codependence and now you are, you've been used to having somebody.
Right.
And now you have no one except your own thoughts, your own feelings, and your own self-doubt. Why did she leave me? And you go through that, I'm going to try to get her back. Don't. Regardless, even if you want her back, maybe you don't want her back. But either way, you want her want you back.
That's right.
That doesn't mean you have to take her. But the best way, as Ben said, is to become the best version of yourself.
Yes.
Put your focus on getting your body right. Put your focus on getting your work right.
Yep.
Put your focus on helping other people.
Yeah.
Whatever it is.
Get your mind right.
Right. Get strong. Disconnect from her social media. Thank God I haven't had to go through a breakup during the height of social media, where you're going to be staring at their profiles every block. You don't even have to delete, just mute.
Yeah.
You won't even see anything she posts.
Right.
Maybe you have mutual friends. Believe me, she'll hear how good you're doing from those friends. You don't even have to say anything.
That's right.
You just push forward, doing you, working on you. And I think self-reflection too. If you can take an honest reflection of why this ended and you can take ownership of what part you played in it, you just learned what not to do in the future.
That's
you just learned, next relationship I have, I am going to make a point to not do this again. If you know that some of your actions might have been the cause of this relationship downfall. In the end, it might just be that she wasn't the one. And take that as a sign. And you know what? I hate the old saying, well, if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. But you know what? It is. You might get connected back, but you'll be a better version of who you were.
Yeah, man, don't worry about it. Just focus, grind, come up with an idea, come up with a vision, use your vision and write it out how you see yourself. And then there's a level of action that's going to be required between where you are now and reaching that point. Break it down into a daily schedule. Be disciplined, follow the schedule, be true to yourself, and just get after it, dude.
Go, Seth. Hey, thank you for reaching out to the ManFUzed Podcast. You can join the show. Shoot us a text or leave us a message at 770-744-5227. Listen to the ManFUzed Podcast for free on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your favorite podcasts.